So we have seen in the previous video कि एक research student को research methodology क्यों पढ़नी चाहिए and what is the importance of asking questions and be curious. So now let's have a look at some of the concepts, and we should be knowing about what do they mean in formal terms, so that when we use those words as a research student हमें मालूम हो कि हम क्या बात कर रहे हैं. So first of all, as a research methodology जो course है उसमें जो पहला word है research, we should be knowing कि इसका मतलब क्या है. Let's have a look. Research is actually a middle. It's a word that actually it consists of two words actually. इसमें re and search. Search, we all know it means कि आपने search करनी है. Research actually means you search again and again and again. So actually research का word जो है ना, it's not an English word. It has been adapted from a French word, recherche. I just pronounced, I learned the pronunciation of this French word. I don't know if it's correct, but I tried my best. So it's recherche, or it's an old French, or इसका मतलब यही है कि you have to thoroughly investigate something. So, for example, let's take the instance of where there's a new disease and there's also a new drug out there that has the potential to relieve some symptoms of that new disease. So, research constitute what? कि आपने एक रिसर्चर गया या और डॉक्टर और उसने जो है ना वो ड्रग को through some experimental method जो कि standard है in testing of the drug, वो in medicine field वो उसने adopt किया and he did trials, controlled trials on maybe 10 subjects जिनको वो वाली disease थी. So you think just doing with that one trial gives enough evidence, या does it constitute research? या does it constitute कि वाकई में वो जो उसके results हैं उस study के वो यही infer करते हैं कि this particular drug is it does relieve the symptoms of this particular disease. Just one trial is not going to be enough, बल्कि multiple times वही काम करना होगा. यानी कि the researcher might have to either अपने जो ट्रायल किया है वो मल्टीपल ट्रायल्स बढ़ाए या ही इतनी पॉपुलेशन लेके आए जो कि डाइवर्स हो टू एस्टैब्लिश कि जो उसके रिजल्ट्स हैं उस स्टडी के वो दे आर गुड इनफ सो दैट you can have enough evidence to say that कि this particular drug is helpful in relieving the symptoms of this disease. So research means investigate करना किसी भी phenomena को लेकिन exhaustively to the best of your capabilities. इसी तरह research also means it's a studious inquiry or examination, especially investigating or experimenting जो कि aimed at three different things. Either you could be investigating or experimenting so that you can discover, or you can whatever already is present in terms of facts and figures, you can interpret those facts. So let's take an example. At the beginning you can see that in the field of physics there was discovery going on. The theory of relativity was discovered. Einstein, one of the I think so previous century guy, he is one of the best scientists. He's the number one scientist जो कि I think so Times magazine ने उसको rank किया, and one of my favorite scientists as well. He already has certain facts present. He was a physicist, and he learned about multiple facts, and based on those he came across a discovery of theory of relativity, E is equal to mc squared. इसी तरह other scientists, they discovered phenomena, natural occurring phenomena, and they discovered magnetism और उससे relevant theories बना ली, rules बना लिए. So if you do research, you can arrive at discovery of a new theory or a fact or a different or a phenomena. इसी तरह I'll give you another example of a woman, a physicist and a chemist. Marie Curie. Marie Curie discovered radioactivity. She was awarded a Nobel Prize for that. One of the Nobel Prize, she actually उसको दो Nobel Prize मिले थे. One of them was for the discovery of the radioactivity. Acha. So second thing is the studious inquiry and examination specially aimed at revision of the accepted theories or laws in the light of new facts. So it's not always the case कि कोई एक discovery होगी और वो discovery ता हयात till the humankind remains on this earth, वो उस वक्त तक change नहीं होगी. So that's what the research is about. As our knowledge grow and as more light comes into a phenomena that we're understanding in terms of कि हमें knowledge ज़्यादा मिल रहा है और हमारी understanding ज़्यादा हो रही है, तो based on those new facts, based on that new knowledge, evolve करती है हमारी understanding, and hence if there is a chance, there's quite a possibility कि जो theory है वो भी revise होने वाली हो. So and that has been happening. People research a phenomena, they discover, they identify a theory behind it, or they discover, they interpret some facts in the light of previous knowledge, or as the knowledge grow, so they go and look at the theory in new light, and they extend that theory, या revise करते हैं उस theory को. So similarly, giving taking the same example कि जो Einstein theory of relativity है, उसकी वजह से आगे further और theories भी discover हुई, या फिर even now there's ample evidence, and I've read papers that actually say that Einstein theory of relativity, it needs reconsideration. It's not able to explain some of the things, or something's missing in that. Or magnetism के बाद electromagnetism, you revise, okay, it became electromagnetism because of the association between electricity and magnetism. So you revise होगी वो वाली theory. Or the third thing that you can do, studious inquiry and examination, especially for the understanding the practical applications of those new theories or discovered theories, or the revision of those accepted theories. So even उनकी practical application भी comprise करती हैं research को. If you look at the in the field of computing, तो आप देखिए ज़्यादा applicability है these days that I come across. There might be research going on जो कि truly at the theoretical level है, at the discovery level है, या revision of the theories level है, but it's mostly about the practical application, because machine learning has been used to solve some of the problems जो कि already exist करते हैं, theories exist करती हैं, उनके solutions भी to some extent exist करते हैं, लेकिन उसकी जो practicality है, machine learning is being used in that area. For instance, disease diagnosis has always been there. Doctors have been doing it. लेकिन machine learning के through से practically it's possible to to make softwares या mobile applications जहाँ पर the person can or the जो उस बंदा जो उस disease से affect कर रहा है, he can go and do preliminary diagnosis of his conditions before going to a doctor. So that is one of the practical application in terms of in terms of computing. So in other ways के the same examples जो मैंने आपको पहले दिए हैं in the discovery and the revision of the accepted theories from the physical domain, from physics domain, उसी की example practical application में आपको मैं देती हूँ. See, there's the theory of relativity जब ये discover हुई, तो the practical application was okay, they were able to do much more experiments at a particle level. They could explain कि जो time dilation होती है वो क्यों होती है, or the theory of relativity की जो practical applications, although अभी वो we do not have the technology to actually make such machines, लेकिन उनकी practical application of E is equal to mc squared is about time travel. How is it possible कि ये एक theory exist करती है? तो how can we go at really we time travel through the space, क्योंकि it's not possible कि large distances जो है ना आप in the universe वो आप somehow in your lifetime you're able to go all through those distances, because it's not possible, because E is equal to mc squared. So what they do is they make applications around it in terms of कि ऐसी कौन सी वो spaceships under what conditions वो बना सकते हैं, so that they are able to time travel regarding E is equal to mc squared. अच्छा, इसी तरह another practical application जो कि I can give you an example of is maybe when you try कि आपने discover कर ली in medicine field, you discovered a phenomena. Everybody knows about the story of the penicillin. कि उसने the scientist behind it, he discovered कि some other or plant life is responsible for killing off some of the germs जो कि cause करते हैं, infection cause करते हैं. And then उसकी practical application क्या थी? ये Panadol की गोली इसकी practical application. Now it is available, sorry, not the Panadol, लेकिन जो देते हैं जब अगर आपको deep cuts लग जाएं तो you're given some medicine so that आपकी infections जो है ना वो ना हो सके. So those medicine are the practical application कि आपने at a large scale आपने वो pharmaceuticals को वाला formula दे दिया, and they are able to produce drugs so that they are readily available off the counter. So अगर किसी को infection है, so he or she can go and to the doctor, and the doctor prescribes that medicine, or that is readily available for the people who are suffering from that condition. अच्छा, I also give you one of the examples जिसके अंदर ये तीनों चीज़ें हो, discovery, revision and practical application. So one of the scientists that I जो कि बिल्कुल अभी recently जिसकी contribution है, and he's one of my favorite, he's Claire C. Patterson. So his contribution is he's the one who actually found the age of the earth. So somewhere between, I think so in the 1990s, उसका जो PhD thesis था, it actually showed that the current age, accurate age of the earth is 4.5 billion years ago. तो उसने ये कोई नई चीज़ discover नहीं की थी. Actually, there was a new way of understanding कि हम आप किस तरह चीज़ों को जो है ना वो उनकी age measure कर सकते हैं. So he applied that new method, and he was able to revise जो कि पहले से exist करता था through other methods, which is the age of the earth. उससे पहले the age of the earth जो discoveries हो रही थी, the age of the earth was considered जो estimated उसकी age थी, that was 3 billion years ago. So he used he did research using new facts, new knowledge जो आया, और वो new knowledge था of uranium and lead dating का, जिसमें I try to explain, I don't know myself in detail, but it has got something to do with zircon crystals, जो कि rocks के अंदर सबसे oldest crystals जाने जाते हैं. And how you're able to date zircon crystals based on कि उसके अंदर amount of lead कितनी है, and having the किस किस्म के uranium के isotopes मौजूद हैं. If you can measure that, so you're able to tell कि how old that zircon crystal is, and hence you can know about the age of the earth. So he used that, and he revised the accepted fact जो कि पहले से मौजूद था, which is 3 billion years ago. और फिर he also had practical applications of it. And I also like to say over here is practical applications not necessarily might be scientific in nature. They can be of social value as well. Or in this scenario, Clara C. Patterson is actually known for उसने साइंस की तरफ से contribution की because of this discovery, but because of this discovery he was also able to contribute socially. So while he was doing his research, जब वो he was trying to measure the amount of lead, he came across this really absurd phenomena. His data was off the charts. एक दफ़ा उसने डाटा मेजर किया है तो यूनिट से समथिंग एल्स, दूसरी दफ़ा उसने डाटा मेजर किया है से समथिंग एल्स. सो द अमाउंट ऑफ लेड somehow the different readings were not वो एक दूसरे को contradict कर रहे थे. So he really had problem. Okay, why is that so? So he actually discovered, while he was discovering the age of the earth, there is a problem with the environment at the time. We have lead contamination, and he at that time he also knew that lead is not good for the human, वो health के लिए अच्छी नहीं है. And since he discovered that the lead contamination is off the charts, he actually went and he tried to change that. उस वक्त lead lead की जो contamination थी, that was mostly because of the petroleum sector से आ रही थी, the companies that had a petroleum business they were responsible for the lead contamination. So he actually went and he fought a legal battle for 20 years to actually prove his point. And he और उसने जो है वो ये social contributions दी. Eventually when he actually won that legal battle, तो law बकायदा बना that and because of that law जो पेट्रोलियम मसनूआत थी, they were bound by law कि उसके अंदर lead ना हो. So this is how the discovery and revision of accepted theory and even practical applications जो है ना that constitute करती हैं research की. So if you're doing as a research student, you're discovering a new phenomena, or you are revising the old accepted theories, or even you're providing a practical applications of that, they all constitute जो है ना research. So research is also is the collection of information about a particular subject as per the Merriam-Webster dictionary जो कि 10th edition है. Not only that, research is also defined as endeavor to discover new or collate old facts by the scientific study of a subject or by a course of critical investigation. ये concise Oxford dictionary कहती है. तो yes, हमें ये बात, you can understand this thing कि new facts or discover हो तो वो research बनती है. But how is that you collate or you इकट्ठे किए old facts को critically, तो ये research कैसे बनेगी? It does become a research. See this, Imam Bukhari, he is the authority on in the hadith की जो science है उसमें authority मानी जाती है. And his contributions actually, उनकी जो research contribution है in the science of hadith वो यहाँ लाया करती हैं. See this, in the beginning hadith exist करती थी, but then due to some reason the fabricated hadiths made their ways into the जो लोग hadith पढ़ते थे वहाँ पर भी ये fabricated hadith they made their way in as well. So then there was this need कि जो है जो पुरानी hadith जो पहले से exist करती हैं, I mean hadith you don't discover new hadith, वही जो existing hadith थी उनको fabricated hadith से अलहदा किया जाए. And this is what Imam Bukhari's contribution is. And in doing so, in collating those authentic hadiths, he actually made up his own rigorous methodology, research methodology. जिसमें उन्होंने he actually went as far as अगर कोई एक नई एक hadith and that needs to be authenticated, and he knows कि एक source exists करता है जो कि authentic source है, he had to meet that source, or that involved maybe months of travel at a time. So, and apart from that, Think about it. In his initial search, he started off with 600,000 hadith, and he वो सारी उन्होंने सेलेक्ट की, एंड ही ऑथेंटिकेटेड, ही मेड श्योर कि इनमें से कौन सी ऑथेंटिकेटेड हदीस हैं वाया दिस मेथडोलॉजी कि ही हैड टू गो टू दी सोर्स जो कि ऑथेंटिक है, एंड ऑथेंटिकेट के वाया ये हुजूर सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने किया भी था, कहा भी था, या ये उनसे मरवी भी है या नहीं, and from those 600,000 hadith, his contribution is that final 7,000 something, I don't know the exact figure. He came up with collection of his 7,000 and something hadith जो कि authentic है. So yes, if you're collating all facts in such a way कि वो कोई नई contribution बना in the knowledge base that you have, then even that is a research. तो in इमाम बुखारी's case, उनकी जो collection of hadith है वो research in that sense है कि at that time जब ये research हो रही थी तो nobody had authentic hadith, nobody had this information कि कौन सी hadith authentic है, and nowhere it was collated in a fashion जहाँ पर जो authentic hadith हैं वो एक ही जगह पर किसी student of the hadith science of hadith को वो मिल जाए. And of course his contribution also gave rise to this new science, which is the science of hadith criticism. And if somebody wants to know okay कौन सी hadith authentic है नहीं authentic, the field that revolves around that is the science of hadith criticism. All right, another the definition of research is systematic investigation towards increasing the sum of knowledge. So this is what research is all about. Okay, at a particular point in time, some sort of knowledge exists, and you have some gaps available in it, or some contradictions in it. So आप further investigate करते हो, and then after that investigation, new knowledge comes into place, or वो सारा knowledge जो है ना वो the new knowledge and the older knowledge becomes the sum of knowledge, and hence by researching you are actually increasing that sum of knowledge that you have on a particular subject. We should also be knowing as a research student कि research क्या नहीं है, so that we do not get confused about what is research and what is not. So research isn't information gathering. So if you're merely going and gathering information, वो research constitute नहीं करती. क्यों? क्योंकि वो information तो gather हो रही है और आपके लिए तो है, लेकिन knowledge पहले से exist करता है, और that gathering of information, it does not contribute towards overall increase of that knowledge. कोई नया knowledge नहीं आपने produce किया. You just gathered that information that already was present. अगर आपने उसे critically analyze नहीं किया. For instance, again, अगर हम इमाम बुखारी वो हदीस की ही example लें, तो at that time जहाँ पे collection of hadith नहीं थी, and there were questions about the authenticity of them, उस वक्त तो research बनी इमाम बुखारी की. लेकिन अब अगर you try to gather different hadith from different books and you try to publish or maybe say that my research questions are कौन सी authentic hadith हैं, तो it no longer is going to be a research, क्योंकि research पहले से ही that knowledge exists at that level. Maybe other maybe कोई किसी और एंगल से आपको उसको देखना है जो कि पहले से ही मौजूद नहीं है, उसका आंसर or that perspective of knowledge मौजूद नहीं है in terms of hadith. And research also is in the transportation of fact. तो अगर आप सिर्फ transport कर रहे हैं facts from one resource to another, तो वो constitute नहीं करती, because for a research to be a research, it should contribute towards the development of a new knowledge. New contribution to new knowledge by just mere transportation of facts, although this might make existing knowledge more accessible, लेकिन कोई न्यू नॉलेज क्रिएशन में वो हेल्प आउट नहीं करेगा. सो अगर आप स्टूडेंट हो, रिसर्च स्टूडेंट है, एंड यू आर ट्राइंग टू रिसर्चिंग अ फिनोमेना, तो अगर आपने पेपर पढ़ लिया इन मे बी इन एल्सवेयर की डेटाबेसेस में से, एंड यू पुट इट अप, एंड आपने उससे रेलेवेंट जो है ना इंफॉर्मेशन लिख ली, कोई प्रेजेंटेशन बना ली, दैट वाज ड्यू ऑन यू इन अ कोर्स, तो वो रिसर्च नहीं है, बिकॉज यू आर मेयरली ट्रांसपोर्टिंग नॉलेज जो कि एल्सवेयर के ऊपर एग्जिस्ट करता है, और वो आपने जाके दिखा दिया कि ये पेपर उसमें ये लिखा है. दैट इज नॉट रिसर्च.